Loud, yeah.
Toastmaster Imran, you are with us?
Looks like he's lost. He's not here.
Oh, he's here.
Oh, he's here. Okay.
After you guys press record. So all the content, yes.
Imran, you are with us?
Okay, so Toastmaster Imran has received some calls at precisely the wrong time. So I will just continue and declare the meeting open on his behalf. And it is my honor and privilege to introduce our first president of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Cynthia Stott. She hardly needs any introduction. And apparently, we just found out she's old friends with International Director Ali as well. But anyhow, let me fulfill the formality and introduce her as a visionary and president of Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters Club. She is also past evaluation champion of District 57. And above all, she is a guide, a mentor, and an inspiring personality all around. So I give the stage now to distinguished Toastmaster Cynthia Stott. Over to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, DTM Tala bin Hamid. Ah, I love being here. I'm so excited. My heart is pitter-pattering. And I am here to say that I'm representing Leaders Worldwide, which is 1 year old. It's just 1 year old in October 23. And we had 53 charter members. Fabulous. And we have an email list of over 500 people representing 36 countries and 16 US states and growing. I think it might be 37 or 38 now. Can't keep track. And I'm so happy. I'm the founder, the co-sponsor, and current president of Leaders Worldwide. And we have so many great members here. We have Swarna Kalyan, DTM Swarna Kalyan is also the club growth director of Singapore, and she is our charter member. We have Deborah Wiener, who's our keynote speaker tonight. We have Sally Reyes, who is a one of our round robin evaluators, and so is Kathlyn Pill. And Gary Howarth is giving us a presentation as well. I think that's all of our people from our club. So I'm so happy to introduce the Quantum Leap president. Let me get his bio real quick. I'll go off camera to read his bio. It's so amazing. So DTM Saif Ali Shaikh is by profession, he is a change management consultant, and a corporate trainer for the past 40 years with national, multinational, and international organizations. By passion, he is an active Toastmaster member since 1997. He served as the District 79 director or governor. 2013 to 2014, professional parliamentarian. Awesome. He was awarded by Toastmasters International at the International Convention. Not one, not two, but 3 awards. Excellence in Marketing, 2011. President's Distinguished District, 2014. And the Presidential Citation, one of the highest award that they can give to an individual in 2019. Please help welcome the founder, mentor, and leadership my tongue twister, leadership coach, DTM Saif Ali Sheikh. Please welcome. Woohoo!
Thank you very much, DTM Cynthia Stott. And I don't know from where you got my bio. Maybe someone giving you the information.
I think your bio was even longer. I couldn't read all the accolades you have.
Thank you very much, DTM Cynthia. Let me share something about Quantum Leap. Do you know the Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club was conceived by our district director, Talha bin Hamid, after read a book that Uninhabitable Earth by David Wallace. That was the source of inspiration for him to have a quantum leap in a reality. He realized that in the near future, what will matter for humanity's survival is knowledge of science, technology, environment, and spirituality. Then he found a host of like-minded people, including Toastmaster Arusa, DTM Saad, Toastmaster Iram Rizvi, and myself, who share this dream. The social media campaign for the club was started in August 2021. Slowly, very slowly, a host of geeks from around the world, including United States, Middle East, Bahrain, Pakistan, India, Singapore, found that this mission matches there. The club achieved charter in November 2021, becoming a Pakistan first global online only theme club. And that is a Quantum Leap. Big round of applause for the Quantum Leap. So since our international director, that we kept him as, the surprise element for our meeting today, and he said that he has another engagement, so he wants to leave early. So let me introduce our international director. We have so many common things between DTM Ali Shahbaz and myself. We grow in District 79, and we work together, travel together, and you will not believe DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali, officially from the Toastmaster International, appointed him for my mentor. He is a director of professional development unit, an educator and entrepreneur. Led the largest district in the world in 2016, consisting of 7 countries in the Middle East, over 360 plus club. He served the region 11 advisor for Middle East, Africa, and Pakistan. And he certified as the first registered parliamentarian in the Middle East by National Association of Parliamentarians. Currently, he is International Director, Region 11. Please put your hand together, welcoming my mentor, DTM Ali Shahbaz.
Thank you very much, DTM Saif Ali Sheikh. You are being very humble, but surely you are an inspiration as well to many of the leaders in Middle East and out of Middle East, to the club presidents, DTMs, all, Talha bin Hamid, Cynthia Scott, district leaders, and I see some leaders from who worked probably with me before in as a region advisor. I don't know if it is the same DTM Farzana or if it is somebody else, but hello to everybody. It's a pleasure to be here in this joint meeting of Quantum Leap and Leaders Worldwide. Definitely, I couldn't say no to President and District Director Talha. He told me, please join in, drop in for a while. And I said, okay, I'll be there. I really love the concept. Even when I heard the addresses from the presidents talking, the MC talking, it's wonderful. Quantum Leap, the quantum, just the name shows what was in the founder's mind, what he wanted to come up with, passing on the positive energy across to the members of Toastmasters International, to the guests, talking about leaders worldwide. Definitely, I'm sure a person who comes up with such a great plan, Cynthia Scott, has a very noble plan to get leaders connected from around the world. I'll just quickly speak about something, a history that you should know. I come from the Middle East, from a small island called Bahrain. It's the place where the first chartered club is housed since 1964. And if you see the history of Middle East Toastmasters, of Asia, of Africa, of Pakistan, in 90 plus years of being in Toastmastering, we don't have enough leaders who are representing this part of the world at the international board as an accredited speaker, as a world champion of public speaking. And for many years, speaking to random leaders around Middle East, I felt, what is the issue here? When I flew with Mohammed Gehtani to Las Vegas, something in me was telling me that he's going to win in that convention. And that's what happened. He won. And the reason why he won, one of them was definitely the exposure which he got with different world champion of public speaking and trainers across the world. We always had one question. We do great at the district level, but then we don't make it at the convention as a world champion of public speaking. So where is the missing link? We have great opportunities in Asia, in Africa, but we don't have accredited speakers the way it should be since 1960s. And the missing link is we feel we click well in our area contest, club contest, division, district contest. But the open secret is when we go to the convention, it's a whole different audience out there, a different story, different interpretation. Sometimes the humor here does not work there, or the humor there does not work here. When I went to convention for a few times, I noticed being in the training room with other leaders from across the world, the jokes didn't work well. And I took time to boot up and understand an American joke, a European joke, and they took time to understand my joke. But now when I go to the convention, I know what works. And people like great leaders like Talha, like Cynthia, they are giving us a platform to connect those missing links. They have given us a bridge. I mean, think about it, leaders worldwide. Now I can connect with leaders worldwide and I'll be more confident to apply as a region advisor, as an international director, to fly to the convention and just socialize with them. So these are some great opportunities which we didn't have pre-COVID. Don't mind my cough. I just recovered from COVID. So yeah, so I'm getting the cough episodes. So definitely make use of this platform where we connect with each other. We understand cultures. We understand the temperaments, the humor. And next time when one of you from either of the clubs is at the convention, who knows, you might be the next world champion of public speaking because you understand the international language here. Thank you very much for having me here. Leaders, I might not stay for long, but I'll enjoy as much as I can. Over to you, DTM Saif.
Thank you very much, Region 11 directors. Thank you very much for the time. Thank you very much. Inspirational message. And we are all looking forward to go ahead as leaders for the worldwide. Thank you very much. So nice of you. Fellow Toastmaster. Yes, someone is saying something. Tala, you want to say something?
Yes. Hi.
Hey.
Yes. How are you? How are you? Where are you from?
I am from Pakistan, and this is a combined meeting of leaders worldwide with Quantum Leap. So it's an international meeting today.
Okay, that's fine. I'm from DRC in Africa.
Oh, welcome. Welcome to the meeting. Let's proceed to the meeting. Oh, you are welcome. You are welcome. Please keep with us. Fellow Toastmasters, do you know who is the one who is the master of ceremony for today's meeting? The person who is always spreading the smile. The person who is always willing to accept the challenges. The person who is always contributing in the life of others. Please put your hand together, welcoming Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Saad Shoaib.
What started off with an idea, a very small idea that, yes, we have 16,000 Toastmasters clubs all over the world, but we need to go a bit further. We need to exceed the boundaries. We need to bring a new concept. So that idea was brought by now division director DTM Talab bin Hamid. But that idea was not to be actually accomplished alone. He needed support, and he needed guidance, he needed assistance. And this story is to be continued. Fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests from all over the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be in the world, because I know at this moment we have audience from wide across the globe, because this is the meeting between a club that was founded in a space where there's absolutely no concept of time and no concept of time, and also leaders worldwide. So we can of course expect a worldwide audience. My name is Saad, and I'm the Toastmaster of the day for today's meeting. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
Perfect. Because my net actually froze for a while. So as I was saying, this is the meeting of two completely unique clubs, Quantum Leap and Leaders Worldwide. The concept is actually breaking the boundaries between a normal Toastmaster meeting and do something different. And actually by the end of this meeting, I hope you all will get something new from this meeting. But here's the catch: I can't do this alone, because I need a team of experts to actually guide me to making the perfect meeting. And for that, I would like to call upon the role holders who will actually assist. First role holder, we have the language evaluator, Toastmaster Mobina, sorry. Toastmaster Mobina, please, please explain your role.
Good evening and Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Because something is wrong with my video, I'll try to fix it. Today I am the evaluator of this unique meeting, as our Toastmaster of the day said, a unique meeting of two unique clubs. It's an honor to evaluate the language of such veteran Toastmasters. Today, the word of the day is transcend, which is a verb, and it means be or go beyond the range or limits of a field of activity or a conceptual sphere. Like our Quantum Leap Club, which originated in space. Also surpass a person or an achievement. For example, how could I ever transcend such veteran Toastmasters performance present in this meeting? And another meaning, rising, extending, notably above or beyond ordinary limits. I got these from different dictionaries. Synonyms: exceed, outdo, surpass. Some examples: the athlete hoped the increased training would allow him to transcend Olympic records. A good education will allow you to transcend many socio-economic barriers. Now, and along with the word of the day, I would urge everybody to use this word because it suits the meeting so well that it can be used quite easily. Along with that, I'll look into the usage of English language, good and not so good, during the meeting. And I will present my report at the end of the meeting when called upon. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mobina. So next we have the most important person of the meeting, because this actually the person, the only person who will ask the speaker, please stop speaking. So this person is the timer of the meeting, DTM Talab Hamid, over to you.
Thank you so much, BTM Saad. As timer, I will be showing the timing cards for all the respective segments of the meeting. For the minimum time, I'll be showing a green card like this. For the intermediate time, I'll be showing the yellow. And for the maximum time, I'll be showing red. If you see red, that means that it is time to wind up your speech or table topics or evaluations. I will also be floating the polls based on the timing results. And if you exceed your time, you won't get a certificate of winner. So the choice is yours. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, DTM Talab and Hamid. So now, fellow Toastmasters and guests, it's time to move on to the next part of the meeting, which is to actually get the show started into the mystery world of outer space. So we'll actually will not only start the meeting, we will skyrocket the meeting with an exceptional keynote speech by a person who knows how to do well with a team and how to overcome the barriers. We have the keynote.
Sorry, DTM Saad. You
Yeah,
gave me the authority to
Yeah, I got
interrupt.
it.
So
I got it.
you're paying for it now. I'll request if you allow our Geek of the Week to do her role first, because it's 12 a.m. or rather 12:28 now, where she is.
Yeah, apologies. This was my oversight. So fellow Toastmasters, we have the concept which you'll find only in Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club. We have a unique role. That role is for all of you geeks out there, which is the role of the Geek of the Week. So over to you, DTM Swarna.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Saad, Toastmaster Saad. What is a financial advisor going to talk about or be a geek of the week? This was a question that was pounding me the whole week when I accepted this role. Today, friends, I'm going to talk about disruption in the financial world. FinTech. Have you made an online payment? Or have you used your mobile phone to do any sort of payment? Apple Pay, Google Pay, whatever it is, or even PayPal, for example. Then you are in the world of FinTech. So what's FinTech? FinTech is simply using technology to save, to invest, and to transfer currencies, and do it at the quickest possible way. And it's catching up all over the world. FinTech is expanding itself so rapidly that I guess we cannot stop ourselves from getting into that without even realizing where we are going. And FinTech uses technology as big data, it uses robotics, it uses AI, and of course, blockchain. And if any of you remember our previous meeting, we had a keynote address on blockchain. So these are all the technologies that are helping us to get our finances at our fingertips. So what is different about this? Or what is it that I want to share today about? In the last 2 weeks in Singapore, we were celebrating Chinese New Year. And during the celebration time, what was in the headlines was $300 million lost on bank or phone scams. So what has that got to do with FinTech? Friends, what happens is that while we have everything on our phone, we are also giving access to all our information to someone out there who manages the networks. And so therefore, any security lapse on our side is an easy prey for others to get at our money. And that's what happens. In December, my daughter lost everything from her account in UK over a phone call, which was very authentic, with verification, everything done. But she got an SMS as she was on the phone that her bank balance was zero. And we are talking about educated people here. It's not someone who's not educated. We all are in a game here that we need to understand what we are doing. So why is it so easy for someone to hack into systems? As I told you, fintech has blockchains as one of the ways to handle data. And although blockchain has been very effective in compacting and encrypting data, it also has a loophole that it requires only 51% authentication before someone can take over that data. So it's very easy if you are a geek and you know how to work your systems, then it's very easy, I think, for someone to take over the system. And that's how bank systems, that's how the online credit card systems, even government systems are being compromised because of how easy it is for someone to get over it. I'm not saying we shouldn't be doing any of it. There is no way, friends. We have to go with the flow. We have to accept the disruption. We have to learn to be on the phone and learn to do things in the most digital way. But how can we avoid, or how do we mitigate risk is what I want to leave you today with. I want you to leave you with this acronym SCAN. S for secure all your devices, whether it is your computer, whether it's your phone, whether it's your Wi-Fi network. Please make sure that you have security codes that are not easily accessible. C for choose a very strong password. Make a combination of large capital letters, small letters, numbers, and even special characters so that it's difficult for anyone to break into your systems. A for be aware of the artificial intelligence. We are constantly watched everywhere on how we manage ourselves online, whether it's Google, whether it's our social media, everywhere. You may have found that you may be searching for something on the internet and you will see that advertisement on your Facebook. That is how artificial intelligence works. So be aware that you are constantly watched, and be aware how much of information are you giving online. And lastly, M, manage all the security things that are there. Social media, for example, manage how much of, whether you have clicked on all the cookies or you just have very strong passwords, all this have to be done well on your social media. When we do all this constantly and be ready to learn as things change, I'm sure we can all learn to adapt this disruption as it comes. Thank you so much for listening to me, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Swarna, for those wise words and knowledge. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, what's the way to actually introduce one heavyweight speaker? It's to have another heavyweight speaker introduce the other heavyweight speaker. So next is actually the keynote speech, and I won't be the one who will actually be introducing that speech. It will be introduced by our champion, DTM Cynthia Stott, it's over to you.
Great, thank you. Okay, let me get my it's still early. Let me get DTM Deborah Wiener's introduction. So just a sec. Okay. DTM Deborah Wiener has been a Toastmaster since October 2009. She completed all 5 print pathways available and 2 digital pathways and is working her way towards completing all 11. She is past F16 area director and current G10 area director in District 57 in Northern California, USA. Deborah is a charter member of Leaders Worldwide and belongs to 5 other clubs. She definitely drank the Toastmasters Kool-Aid. Deborah has owned a multi-million-dollar business for over 35 years. She has been a Feng Shui master for over 20 years. Deborah created her own integrated system called Energetic Business Feng Shui, which combines traditional Feng Shui, human design, and other success systems. This system increased revenues in her family business 88%. That's 88% during COVID. This system integrates numerous technologies, actually, including the heightened intuition she developed as she studied remote viewing alongside CIA agents at the Monroe Institute. Deborah is a bad energy detective. Deborah is an international speaker, columnist for RHG Digital Magazine, featured on numerous radio shows, podcasts, internet TV shows, and is an international best-selling author. So please help me welcome DTM Deborah Wiener. And her speech is Thrive with your A+ team, overcoming challenges with energetic business Feng Shui. Deborah Wiener.
Ready to thrive? Ready to transcend? Propel your life and business forward with energetic Feng Shui. When I grew up, I didn't feel safe and didn't have a space of my own. Imagine a world in which you have a sense of belonging, where you feel inspired, empowered, and connected. I believe we are all connected through energy and when we speak our truth. To make this world a reality, I created an interdisciplinary system called Energetic Business Feng Shui, which builds a bridge to this more ideal world. I took traditional Feng Shui, which is the subtle charges of electromagnetic energies and frequencies surrounding us, combined it with human design and other success systems. This new system relates to quantum physics, which is the study of matter and energy at the most fundamental level. Energetic business Feng Shui is about how you feel in a space. Life is about feeling good. If you feel good, you are more motivated, inspired, and creative. This unique system designs and restructures your life and business, which enables you to be more successful. This technology is scalable anywhere, from an individual wanting healthier relationships and family life, more wealth and abundance, to multi-million-dollar corporations. I am committed to empower my clients to overcome challenges and thrive. I create beautiful business environments you'll never want to leave, where you and your teams can be mindful, present, and focused. You'll see endless possibilities, more than you ever imagined. My husband and I started what is now a multi-million-dollar business in a garage with a well-worn Toyota truck with a lien on it and a $5,000 loan. We had no money. Our fortune changed when I became a Western Feng Shui master. Using energetic business Feng Shui, we paid back that $5,000 loan and generated over 2,000 times more in revenue. Money is energy. The primary principle of energetic business Feng Shui is where energy flows, money goes. We use this principle to increase our business revenues 88% during COVID. Energetic business Feng Shui is one of the most powerful tools you can use to manifest your dreams. Breathe that in. Life ebbs and flows like water flowing over rocks and boulders. Having energetic business Feng Shui as a tool will support you to overcome challenges and propel you to thrive. Is energy in your business, organization, or life flowing or stagnant? Does your energy need to be activated? Are boulders blocking your way? If so, flow over them. Allow your thrive to come through. In 2007 to 2009, our business almost went bankrupt as the global economy tanked, heading into the Great Recession. My thoughts were racing with, we could lose everything. Our business, our home, our children's dreams of going to college. Sadly, to survive, we had to let go of most of our employees. We were devastated. We consider our employees family. Desperate, I assessed the physical environment and the few remaining employees, including myself. I dove deep, triggered by decisions made about compensation. As a conditioned people pleaser, I smoothed things over and remained silent. I thought my emotions were getting in the way of my business communications and decisions. They were not. I discovered my emotions are my biggest asset. Your emotions indicate how you feel. Your feelings connect you to your intuition, which is your internal GPS satellite system. My silence was killing my business. Addressing my concerns and restructuring our business resulted in a 180-degree turnaround. While other businesses failed, we thrived. Then COVID hit. I assessed the physical space again, replaced the floors and window coverings and painted the walls, and swapped out dusty fake plants for fresh new live ones. I assessed the employees. Thankfully, most employees that weren't right for our company left on their own. Losing the demanding and controlling manager who lacked people skills and was untrainable, our rose bush was magically pruned. We restructured human resources and created our A+ team with the right people in the right position with the right compensation. Energetic business Feng Shui analyzes your human design DNA codes to determine how you function in communication, business, and life, revealing which positions would make you and your team thrive. If you're not already, you might want to take notes. Energetic business Feng Shui has two pillars. Pillar number one is about space. Learn more in my March 2022 article, Create Your Flow. Get your copy at fengshuibusinessconsultant.com. Pillar number 2 is about people. It has 3 components: the right people in the right position with the right compensation. First, the right people. Mindset, training, and networking set your people up for success. When you believe in yourself and your abilities, you work at your highest potential. For example, my client Marty says, before working with Deborah, I struggled with my business. Our work together changed my mindset, business, and life. Marty was the right person with the wrong mindset. With a new energetic business success mindset, Marty went from working for a chiropractor to working with Hollywood stars. With this new mindset, Marty saw possibilities he never knew existed, changed his position, and skyrocketed his income. Second, the right position. Joe was in outside sales. He couldn't close a sale to save his life. In customer service, using his extensive product knowledge, he thrived. Michael, an executive, learned his sweet spot was innovation and initiating projects, not implementing them. Delegating projects to his A+ team allowed him to create products, a new division, and double his revenues. Third, the right compensation. When salespeople are paid a straight salary, they usually never sell a thing. Paying a base salary plus commission with incentives, matching their compensation with performance, sales will skyrocket. One client arbitrarily handed out bonuses. Employees came to expect it. One non-performing employee quit because he didn't get a bonus. Thank God he left. That was the best thing that could have ever happened. His leaving was good for the company. What will happen when you have an A+ team? Remember, where energy flows, money goes. Are you ready to thrive? I hope I inspired you to take action. Let's get started. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Deborah. So over to you, DTMs. Over to you, Toastmaster Cynthia.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saad. Appreciate that. And now we have questions for Deborah. Can you put them in the chat or raise your hand? And Kathlyn, could you walk through me and see if anyone's hand's raised, or just unmute your mic? And you could ask any questions at all. Gary, your mic's unmuted. Did you have a question?
Oh, no, it was a wonderful speech. It really made me think about my own space that I have here and how I'm interacting with folks. And it's was very enlightening. So thank you, Deborah.
Great.
Thank you.
And there's a couple of chats in here. Swarna said, Deborah, lovely presentation. How do we understand what is right for us? Ooh, that's a good question. How do we understand what is right for us?
When we understand ourselves, we can be happier and motivated and more successful in life. There's many ways to do that. One of the ways is to understand your human design. And understanding your human design does help you learn how you function in life and what's the best position for you in your career. Human design is the DNA codes that we were born with. We all have our own unique design, and it's very easy to get your chart, and it's something that I could support you in finding out if you're interested. And I put my website in the chat. But yeah, human design is an example of it is once I learned the designs of my boys and my husband, life became so much easier, because once I learned that I have twin boys. Once I learned that my sons needed to think that an idea was theirs first, I was always doing the shoulds, which is, you should do this, you should, giving unwanted advice. I learned how to plant the seed, have them think it's their own idea. And yeah, so there's many tricks or tools using human design.
To understand yourself better. Great. And any other questions here? Let me check the chat. There's nothing in the chat right now. So I have a question, if that's okay.
Sudarshan had raised his hand.
Oh, great. Sudarshan. Yes, please.
So first of all, thank you very much for that talk. It resonates with me at so many levels that I can't begin to explain. But let me ask you this one question, which as someone that runs big teams and has just become an entrepreneur recently, I grapple with this very often. Sometimes in a high performing team, you have people that are willing to take the initiative and people who are self-starters. However, it is important to rein them in a little bit at times, because the rest of the team probably may not be as capable as them, and therefore you need to allow for everyone to grow and to come to a point where they can all contribute together. So how do you deal with such problems? I mean, it's a problem that's actually a good problem, but how do you deal with it?
I can go back to human design. There are people that are meant to be the, let's just say, generators. That's one of the human designs. Those generators are meant to be the busy bees. They have, they're like having a battery inside them, an energizer bunny. They have so much energy, and those people are usually, they are meant to be the workers, the worker bees. And then there are manifestors. Manifestors are very good at managing people, would be good at managing a team. So if you know your employees' human design, the generators usually are not the initiators. They're usually the followers. They follow the leaders. Not to say they can't be a leader, they can be. It's just knowing how each person functions. That way you can set up your team to be more effective and successful. Then there's the projectors, which I'm a projector. We are meant to be the advisors of the world. And so we gather knowledge, and then we share our knowledge with the world. We can lead a team also, but the manifestors work well with projectors. And then there's manifestor generators who can do both. So it's very important to understand and make sure that everybody's in the right position for them, because then they can be more effective. So my component of Feng Shui, energetic business Feng Shui, is putting the right people in the right position with the right compensation. Another example I have is in our company, we at one time were not paying our outside salespeople the right compensation. And so my stories are real about when outside salespeople are on salary only, they don't sell a thing. So making sure you give them incentive to sell, you give them, a base salary plus, commission, and then they are motivated. So it's understanding each employee and how they function is essential to having an A+ team.
Great. Anyone else have a question? Well, I'll ask my question. You said you raised your income by your revenues by 88%. So how did that work? I mean, you move some furniture around, you add some colors. What made that? How did that happen?
Well, during the recession and during COVID, we basically, I mean, it was in a way we cleaned house. So we had employees that were in the wrong position, not performing, and so it kind of helped. It was really a good thing for us. We started to use energetic business feng shui and some of the success systems with it, and started hiring outside salespeople, especially, and that had product knowledge. And I started to go in and assess the current employees, the ones that were still remaining, and again used human design and some other systems, you know, personality tests, there's lots of different let's just say tests you can give people to help determine how they function. We started putting people in different positions. We did have we had some outside salespeople that was the wrong position for them, and they were stressed out because selling was not their thing. So we found another spot for them, and the ones that didn't work out, we did have to lay some people off. So besides going in and looking at the space and rearranging things and putting colors in the right spot, it was the most important thing that changed everything was hiring the right people for the right position and putting with the right compensation. Once that happened, our sales skyrocketed. It was like, oh, why didn't we do this before? So we learned along the way what not to do. And so that led us to know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like it was the salespeople, not just the salespeople, but there was also supply chain problems. And we learned, you know, we put the right person in the right position in purchasing and made sure that we always ordered inventory, extra inventory. So we were not, you know, we didn't just order as needed, because there's certain theories about on-time inventory and management where you just order what's needed. But because we didn't follow that theory, we had the supplies when there was to sell to our customers when other people didn't have the inventory and supply. So it was a combination of going in and really assessing our employees and creating our A+ team.
Great. And I think it's important to have a good space that feels good to the employees as well, that it makes them motivated, inspired, and they can generate things then. That's great. So you combine those two things. And I think that's the end of our questions, right, Toastmaster Saad? Okay.
Yes, it is actually.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Deborah. Did you have some final words to say?
I just say, just remember, energy is everything and everywhere. And it's important to know, is your energy flowing? Because where energy flows, money goes.
Great. One more big round of applause. Woohoo! And back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Deborah. That was quite brilliant and I'm sure very much helpful for all of the audience here. So to actually continue from that story, the idea which was executed by DTM Talab bin Hamid, but he needed help, and he got it when he basically basically recruited the very experienced, the very much motivational DTMs, Saif Ali Sheikh, to be the president of this unique club. And from then the story moves ahead, because he still needed help. So to be continued. Now we'll move on to the next part, which is the prepared speeches. And the first prepared speaker is Toastmaster Gary, and he will be presenting his level 3 project 1, one of actually presentation mastery. His speech title is "Make Them Choose You." So Toastmaster Gary is a member of Leaders Worldwide, and he has been a sales trainer for over two decades, and he has also written various books. So we have a high profile member with us. So he will be evaluated by DTM Saif Ali Sheikh. So over to you, sir.
Thank you. Have you ever met someone who is always the center of attention? Well, I have, and her name was Terry. She was the one that people always wanted to work with.
Excuse me, Toastmaster Gary. Apologies for that. Your project and yourself have to be introduced by our evaluator first.
Okay. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tala, for introducing me and bringing me in the line. And there's a little change. Instead of GK Ajay, DTM GK Ajay, Toastmaster Saira, can you perform as a recommendation evaluator? Toastmaster Saira, you're with us. Toastmaster Jahanzeb Shah, you are with us? Excuse me, Jahanzeb.
Or actually, I can do it.
Okay, wonderful. Saad, you are one of the evaluators for the recommendation, and DTM Swarna is for the commendations, and Toastmaster Sally is for recommendation, is a commendation, and recommendation is Toastmaster Saad and Toastmaster Kathlyn.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Saif, I'm available.
Actually,
Okay.
DTM Saif, DTM Swarna had to leave, so maybe we can give her spot to Toastmaster Jahanzeb. Is that okay?
Jahanzeb, if Jahanzeb is here, why not?
Yeah.
Jahanzeb, you are with us.
Yes.
So you were taking over the assignment of DTM Savarna commendations part of the evaluation.
Right, right.
Okay. Toastmaster Gary is attempting level 3 from the presentation mastery, project number 1. And the purpose statement for this project, the purpose of this project is for a member to understand the type of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Well, whoever met someone,
Thank you.
is the center of
Yes. Yeah. Over to you again.
you. Have you ever met someone who is the center of attention? I have. Her name is Terry. And Terry was a person who was always had people always wanting to work with her and to be around her just because of her personality. And she didn't know it, but she had a system. And this system is what we in business call a unique selling proposition, or a USP. But it just came naturally to her. She didn't actually know she had the system. But the first time I experienced her system, it was when we were all on a group date many years ago. And her friends told her that she needed to meet me. And so during that time, she used the system on me, and it was so powerful, so persuasive, that 9 months later, we were married. But I broke her system down to really 3 key steps, and it's communication, differentiate, and why. And she made great use of these skills as a teacher, as an aunt to our nephews and nieces, as a wife of 30 years, and as her future career as an executive director. Sadly, she passed away from cancer about 10 years ago. And I miss her dearly. But she has stayed with everybody and has had tremendous impact on many people, including myself. And I would like her to share with you, her insights on how she did that.
That's not the way. Oh, cute.
Asked me to share with you how I make people choose me. And he says that I have 3 different steps. Well, the first is communication. And I try to communicate so there's a mutual understanding between everybody. And I have a secret. What I really do to make it work is I focus on the other person. And when I focus on the other person, they feel important. And I focus on their dreams, their desires, their goals. And when I do that, it makes them feel great about themselves. But then that feeling transfers back to me. And it's crazy how that works. Well, the second step that I do is to differentiate. So I needed to differentiate myself with Gary when we first met. So I paid a lot of attention to him during that first meeting. I laughed at all of his bad jokes and made him know that I was definitely single. But there's ways for businesses to also differentiate themselves. A lot of businesses differentiate themselves by, I'm the biggest, we're the fastest. They differentiate by location. Well, in Toastmasters, there's a way that you could differentiate yourselves too in your clubs. And one is taking advantage of current situations. And right now, I hear you've been going through a pandemic, and it's really changed how people work. And many people are working from home, which, boy, I wish I could have done that, but that's okay. But people want to work from home, and businesses want people to work remotely because they have found that it's more productive for them. Their employees are 47% more productive working at home. So when you put all that together, people like having the flexibility of their time, but they can also have their meetings on places like Zoom. In fact, I'm curious, can anybody tell me what Zoom is? Anyway, I went to my third step, which is why. Why do people choose you? Why do people choose me? it really is the most important part. There's something that I call the golden circle formula. And imagine a bullseye where you have 3 rings. The outer ring is the what, the inner ring is the how, and the bullseye is the what. Very easy for companies to talk about what they do, which is the outside ring. And that's really simple. Everyone does that. And then how. A lot of people share how they do what they do. And that is another layer of communication. But the most important is the why. And my why when I was with Gary was trying to tell him why that I was the best choice and why we should be together and why I like him. And fortunately, he made the right decision and we did get married. Ultimately, why for a company like, or an organization like Toastmasters is, why do we want to help people speak? Why do we want to help create, excuse me, why do we want to help create leaders? So it's really the why. It's your mission, it's the values that are the most important. And that's really all I know about my system. I want to thank you for listening to me. And I know Gary has something that he would like to share with you. So hold on. Oh, I'm back. Anyways, if you would like some more insight on, or information on the insights that Terry shared, when it comes to communication, the differentiation and why, you can reach me at Gary at connectbyvoice.com. So help yourself with the insights, use the insights that Terry shared with you, and make them choose you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Gary. So now I would like to call the lead evaluator, Toastmaster Saif. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saad, and in particular, Toastmaster Gary. That's a wonderful speech, wonderful message, and we learn a lot from you. First of all, I would like to say sorry that you lost your wife. She is the one who gave you the lesson for the 3 beautiful things, the communication, differentiate, and the why. And the why is the one that you get attached to her and you marry her. And you have a good time with her and you spoke from your heart. And that is the beauty of any speaker, that he is the one who shared his personal feeling, and that attached to him or her, that give a great message for other. Wonderful, wonderful. I really appreciate the message you are sharing with us today. Another thing is that you describe the Terry. You just put yourself in the shoes of Terry. You put the wig on your bald and beautiful head, and that shows the attachment with her. Even though, Toastmaster Gary, I was expecting when you mentioned the Terry left you due to the cancer, your voice modulation should be little low, giving the sorrow impression. And that was my expectation, since you are a seasoned Toastmasters. And you mentioned about that, the Toastmaster is giving the communication and why the Toastmaster is helping the people to speak, why the Toastmaster is helping the people to become leaders. So bring the emotions when there is a sorrow in your life that will give the impact. By having said this one, let me ask Jahanzeb, Toastmaster Jahanzeb, for the commendation of your project. Toastmaster Jahanzeb.
Right. Thank you so much, DTM sir. So it is an honor to recommend Toastmaster Gary's speech. The particular thing I liked about the hand gestures and the eye contact you used throughout your speech. We all understand the importance of the body language in our communication. So your hand gestures were really aligned. Hand gestures and the eye contact were really aligned with the way you are expressing your feelings and the way you were presenting. So that is my commendation to you. Thank you so much for being so awesome today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
DTM sir.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jahanzeb. Let's have another person who is going to give the commendation of your speech. Toastmaster Sally, you are with us.
Sally Reyes. Thank you. I thought, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we are.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here halfway around the world. I found that when he took on the aura of his wife, it was extremely touching. And he was able to set his own personality aside and see how she wound around her sight of how important the other person was going to be and how to strengthen the power and be able to make those connections with other human beings and do it with one person and two personalities. I thought it was very strong. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sally. Let's move to the recommendation part. And the first I'm going to call Toastmaster Saad, DTM Saad.
Thank you very much. DTM Saif.
Yes.
So, Toastmaster Gary, your speech was marvelous from the start to the end, and it actually kept the audience engaged. To be honest, I've really found it hard to actually recommend something, but I'll try. When you did the role play, which was excellent, but with that role play, maybe your voice could have been different from one person to another. That was one area, but overall an excellent speech. Over to you.
Thank you very much, DTM Saad. Let's move to Toastmaster Kathlyn Phil for giving the recommendations to Toastmaster Gary.
Toastmaster Gary, what a beautiful, beautiful gift you offer. And I need to be extremely brief because we are running late. I would say that naturally you will be more efficient regarding time as you gain more experience, as you organize. So that's one of the things that you will do naturally. The other thing that I might offer for you to consider is that you point out that the the unique selling proposition is in relationship to Terry's universal sympathy partnership. In other words, when you took on Terry, you were identifying her spirit, which is in common with us all. And that is the key to the unique selling proposition. So if you were to point that out, it might reach us even more deeply. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kathlyn. And I'm sure that Toastmasters Saad, Toastmaster Sally, Toastmaster Kathlyn, and Toastmaster Jahazib, they are giving their thoughtful informations about the commendation and the recommendation, and definitely it will going to help you for your future speeches. May I request Toastmaster Gary, can you have some words after the evaluations?
Yes. First of all, thank you very much. Your points are very well made. I really want to take them to heart, and I'm going to be giving this speech again in the near future. So I intend to implement the recommendations because they were quite wonderful and very specific and very helpful. And so thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Gary. Wish you all the best for your next project. And by this, I hand over the control back to Toastmaster Saad.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saif. So now, fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests, we have the speaker number 2 with us. He is a banker by profession and a Toastmaster for the past 8 years, and also is a distinguished Toastmaster. Please welcome DTM Sudarshan, and he will be evaluated by the lead evaluator, Toastmasters Cynthia Stott. So please explain the speech objectives. Over to you.
Great. Thank you, Toastmaster Saad. Awesome. I'm loving this meeting. Let me get my notes. He is speaking from the presentation mastery, and level 1. This is the evaluation and feedback speech number 1. And let's see, where did I put that note? It must have been to Second. Pull up my notes. Technical difficulties here. Okay. So the purpose of this speech, this project, is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback for a second speech. The purpose of the speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator and the round robin evaluators. Let's see, about this speech. The member will deliver a well-organized speech on any topic, focus on the member's speaking style, be sure to recommend improvements that the member can apply for the next speech. The speech may be humorous, informative, or any other style the member chooses. The member will ask you to evaluate his or her second speech at a future meeting. That would be nice. And I know DTM will do an amazing job with this speech, and it's my pleasure to evaluate him. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Cynthia. So over to you, Toastmasters, Toastmasters, Toastmasters.
And did you want me to read his title? I think
Sudarshan.
I forgot to read that.
Yeah, if you can read the title.
Yeah,
And it's
perfect.
The Dog Fight, is that right?
That's correct.
DTM Sudarshan Seshadri?
That's correct.
The Dog Fight. The Dog Fight. Peace welcomes. DTM Sudarshan.
Thank you very much. Come on, Blackie! Come on, Scamper! Kill him! Get her! Get her now! This was what my friends were shouting circa 40 years back on a warm summer's evening in the city of Bombay. I came running toward the circle with my arms extended and looking right in the middle. There was our pet dog, Scamper, the colony dog, fighting against the diminutive, little, dark Blackie from the adjacent compound. The fight was vicious. Every snarl, every growl, every scratch, every bite was purposeful. At each instance, the little Blackie was taking one step further and the big Scamper was taking one step back. Scamper was my dog, but slowly and surely I was beginning to side with Blackie, for she was literally the underdog in the dog fight. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and my dear friends, this was something that I witnessed as I came home from school that afternoon. Little did I know what was going to happen, but what I saw in front of me was a vicious fight. Every snarl that Blackie made was a lot more purposeful. Every step that she took was very diligently thought out, and every bite that she inflicted on Scamper was a bite with purpose, a bite for her victory. Very soon, I heard a voice from a distance. Sudarshan, come home, lunch is getting cold. That was my mom calling me from the 4th floor of the building. And suddenly, as if it was Moses parting the sea, the entire crowd dispersed. All of our mothers collectively called us. All of us boys ran back home because it was lunchtime. As I was ascending the stairs of my building, the only thing that remained with me was the yelps of Scamper. The poor little guy, with his tail between his feet, ran away to lick his wounds. The fight ended 40 years ago. The fight never ended. It still stays with me. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, that day Blackie taught me a lot of lessons. And there are 5 that I remember very, very clearly. First and foremost, believe in yourself. She was in alien territory. She had no home advantage. She was much smaller, yet she was in the fight because she believed it was her fight to fight. Second, trust your strengths. Blackie didn't know how big Scamper was. Blackie didn't know what could Scamper do. Blackie didn't know or didn't care what his strengths were. She knew what she had and she used it to the hilt. Third, every step you take a step forward. That afternoon, Blackie didn't back down an inch, a centimeter, a millimeter. She was at every instance coming forward, and Scamper, the big guy, was going back. And that showed me, in any fight in life, if you choose to take one step back, you've lost ground and you have to cover that. And that was a lesson that she left me with. 4, understand your opponent's weakness. Sometimes in life we come across problems in our own lives where we give up because we believe the opponent is stronger. That day, Blackie didn't care. Blackie didn't know. Blackie couldn't have done anything because she was in that fight to save her life. She got to his weakness and made full use of her strength. 5. As Mark Twain once said, it was never about the size of the dog in the fight. It was always about the size of the fight in Blackie. It's always about the size of the fight that you carry in you. These are the 5 lessons that remained with me. But now let me tell you a small story. 2019 January morning, me curled up in my blankets, 4 a.m. in the morning, beep, 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 my phone buzzes. I pick my phone up very groggily and look at it. New York Marathon done. 4 hours, 48 minutes, 19 seconds. I did it. This was my friend Dinesh messaging me from a cold New York saying he completed the marathon. Just 5 years before, on a Saturday afternoon, at the end of a very sweaty game of squash, which I had won for a change, we were walking out of the court and Dinesh was holding his back and saying, I have back pain. I said, hey Dinesh, don't make excuses. I beat you fair and square. He said, no, you did, but I have back pain. Little did we know that that particular back pain was the beginning of a saga. That very next day he went to the doctor to just discover a tumor pressing on his spine. This dog Dinesh decided to get into his own dog fight. All the doctors gave up. They called his wife and said, Dinesh has about 3 months. This guy said, not yet, my friends. I ain't done so far. He took the fight in his hands. He told the doctors, you treat me the way I tell you to. 5 years later, the bugger completes the New York Marathon and sends me a message saying I did it. That was a fight that he fought, the good fight that he fought to win. Today he's an inspiration. Just today in the morning he sent me, by 11 a.m. I've completed 1440 calories and 12,000 steps. What have you done? And I was tucking into a big slice of cake at that point in time. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, in conclusion, what I would always like to think and believe is that we all have an option to be either the scamper or the blackie in the fights that we fight in our lives. The winners are always those that have the heart and the gut and the will to fight the good fight. I have decided every instance that I get, I'm going to fight the good fight and never back down. I want to channel the inner blackie in me in every fight that I get into. Because guess what? You and I will be in the dog fight at some point in time or the other. And those of us that win are those that are willing to put the fight. I am. Are you? Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, TTM Sudarshan. Now it's over to you, DTM Cynthia Stott.
Great, thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. And oh my gosh, Sudarshan, wow, you did amazing job. It was so, I was so in it from the beginning. You started it off with that's what is her name? Patricia Fripp calls the Rambo opening, where you're right at the dog fight, you're right in it, you start right away. And I hope this is an international speech for your international speech contest. And you can tell a winner within the first 30 to 45 seconds. That's how you know the winner. First 30 to 45 seconds. And you had it. You had me at hello. Wow. Wow. And your use of language was really great. And you used a lot of the power of threes. You used 3 things in a row. And that was fabulous. Your gestures were there. The things that I have some things to make this an even better speech. Would you like to hear them? Great. First of all, your background is a virtual background. And when you did the great gestures, your arm disappeared. So you'll want to get a physical background, like a sheet or a blanket or something to blank out your screen, but it not be virtual, so that we can see your beautiful hand gestures. And I usually like sitting, but for this speech, because you are physically into it, it'd be better to stand up, but don't back up. Don't back up, because then we'll lose the eye contact. We'll lose your connection. I would raise up your computer at eye level, and then you only need to see down to your elbows. Your elbows. You should see the bend in your elbow in the screen. And also on the recommendation, you had 5 things in there powerful, but there is power in 3s. And I would really encourage you to bring it down to 3, and then you'll have a little bit more time for the story, for the impact to really hit us, and we can really feel it. And I thought it was amazing. I thought your gestures were powerful. Well, one more thing is pause, the power of the pause. That's always a good thing, especially when you're speaking to native English speakers, or you're a non-native English speaker. So everybody has a chance to really hear that powerful message into their brain. They can work it around with your accent, and then they can digest it. So pausing is really, really powerful, and that would make it even better. So I love the what you did with the speech. If you change your background and give us 3 instead of 5, and give us a pause, that would be powerful, powerful. Well, you are a winner. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. Now, now I think you will call your team of. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let me get to the agenda. I'm not used to this. I love the way that you do round robin here, though. That has me thinking of a new opening for the round robin evaluations. Let's see. It's Quantum Leap here. I like that they're called upon. That makes it much better. Oh, oops. And where's the agenda?
I can help with that, DTM Cynthia.
Okay.
Because the first commendation will be by our keynote speaker, DTM Deborah Wiener. So over to you, DTM Deborah.
Okay, so let's see.
And yours would be what he did well. Give us your best that he did well.
Sudarshan. Okay.
Yeah, Sudarshan. Mm-hmm.
Your storytelling was so intriguing, and I was just leaning in, and I just want to go, oh, it was stories. You had a couple of stories in there, and your storytelling was excellent. Your expression, your eye contact was perfect. I mean, this is an international speech. Just by tweaking a few things, I know that you're a winner. A little at the very beginning, I just would suggest maybe having some kind of transition into, like, because you were like you were in the fight, and your loud voice was just a little bit maybe what's the word, off-putting at first. It's like, ooh, like, so maybe just kind of lead us into what's going on there, lead us into the fight, and then I think that it'd be more smooth.
Great.
And then I think it was great. Excellent speech.
Excellent. And the next commendation is by DTM Tala.
Thank you so much, DTM Cynthia. And that's completely unfair, having to follow up DTM Cynthia and then DTM Deborah, but I'll try my best. So DTM Sudarshan, 2 little commendations for you today. First of all, you're looking exceptionally smart and sharp today. So kudos on that. Every little bit counts in a contest and in a speech. And secondly, the way you embodied that dog, the way you played its role, it's uncanny. I haven't seen you play a human that well. But and that only goes to show that, number one, you lived that story. Number two, you keep living that story over and over again. And number three, the hard work that you put into it, into translating it to the screen. So congratulations on that. And over to you, our lead evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Talha. And now we have recommendations for what we call them stretch goals at Leaders Worldwide. And Saad, you are our first evaluator.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So Toastmaster Sudarshan. Just wow. That was a marvelous speech, and I think it's a very hard job to actually recommend something. But I'll try. Your speech was perfect, but maybe you might make it much better by actually standing up and then giving the speech. But that's only me nitpicking. It was a perfect speech. Over to you, DTM Cynthia.
Thank you. Awesome. And now Gary Howarth is going to make his recommendation.
Well, thank you for a wonderful speech. It really grabbed me from, the first 5 seconds, and I was fully engaged the entire time. As far as possible stretch goals, there aren't too many, but one of the things that I think would help would be your position within the screen. You'd be a little closer up. You seem to be a little further back. And something else that Cynthia Stott had mentioned was the hand gestures. So with the selection of the backgrounds, hopefully that could help, point out what you're trying to do with the hand gestures. But overall, I was fully engaged the entire time, and wonderful storytelling. And I look forward to hearing more in the future.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you, Gary. And thank you, Saad, DTM Saad, for reminding me to ask for comments from the speaker, from DTM Sudarshan. Please make your comments.
Thank you very much. First of all, a heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you that evaluated me. Every one of your feedback is very relevant, and I completely concur. When I chose the background, I didn't realize that when I move my hands, half my hand will become a ghost hand. The next time I will remember that, and I will try and get a better background, or at least have a sheet or something of that kind. I fully take on board the facts that I should probably pause a lot more. That is something that I need to work on, and thanks for pointing that out. But overall, I thought the feedback that I've received today is definitely going to make me want to try this speech at least a couple more times before I'm convinced that this is my contest speech. So thank you very much for putting me on the right path and giving me all the inputs, and hopefully the next time you hear me, you will see me demonstrating all the inputs that I've received today in my next rendition of the speech. So thank you, and back to you.
Great, awesome. And this is your contest speech. No doubt about it. You had us at hello. Just make some improvements, some stretch goals, and you already are a champion. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much to everyone. And now is the time. And now is the time that we've been waiting for. So Mr. Timer, have all the speakers and the evaluators qualified?
Yes, they all have qualified, and you can float the polls while moving on to the next segment.
Perfect. But before that, the story continues. Quantum Leap had now found an experienced president, but there's one element they needed to conquer, because it was a worldwide club. They needed one thing, which is called marketing. Where can they do that marketing from? Well, a person whom God actually speaks to in her voice to her, a person with a vast visible audience. DTM Cynthia Stott helped Quantum Leap find a worldwide audience. So we have a president, we have the marketing, but we still need one more thing, and the story continues. So now is the time for the table topic session. And for that, I have a fellow digital marketer who is a passionate Toastmaster since the past 2 years. So over to you, Toastmaster Usama.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, for giving such a nice introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and most welcomed guests, we are going to start the most important session of today's meeting, and I am sure that all of you are excited with me for that session. So, who wants to volunteer for that first? I think I should call by myself then. Correct me if I pronounce your name wrong, any one of you. So I would like to call Toastmaster Sally. Toastmaster Sally, are you there with me?
Yes, Sally is perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So I hope my screen is being shared with everyone.
Yes, it is.
Yes, time and space.
Time and space. But this is not your question. Your question is this. What comes to your mind if you were given a chance to travel to Mars? What comes to your mind if you were given a chance to travel to Mars? The stage is yours, Toastmaster Sally.
Oh my. I hope Mars can reflect the aspects of the world. I can't imagine wanting to get into a spaceship. It better be decorated well, because I love my environment to be rich and colorful. And to get to Mars, I think it's supposed to be red, right? Well, I'd like it to be slightly persimmon colored because I love color. And gold and inviting. And perhaps we could start fresh with learning about humanity and kindness, and start with a step ahead of what we have created in this world and taken so long to change. I am excited to have that opportunity and have my foot in the game of changing our outlook at this world and its possibilities when recreated in another place. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sally, for elaborating it in your own great way. So now I would like to call Toastmaster Kathlyn. Toastmaster Kathlyn, can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Okay. So Toastmaster Kathlyn, your question for today is, what would you change in the world if you were having a time machine? What would you change in the world if you were having a time machine? The stage is yours.
Well, my time machine is a very special time machine. It collapses time to the present, to only the present. And in this delicious moment of the now, we are in sympathy. We are in what was that universal sympathy partnership. In other words, the message of common value and communion would be very apparent, would be transparent. So I'll order 2 of those time machines, please. One for me and one for you. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Wow, wow. It was really nice. So now I would like to call Toastmaster Saira. Toastmaster Saira, are you there with us?
Yes, Toastmaster Usama.
Okay. So Toastmaster Saira, your question for today is how the world would be if there was life on every planet. How the world would be if there was life on every planet. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Usama. Fellow Toastmasters from around the globe, greetings to all of you. How would the world be if there were life on all the planets? Just a few minutes before, we have heard about the lessons learned from a dog fight. Dogs being another species, but see what we can learn from them. And these days, I am learning about osmotic communication. Even listening to that speech, I was thinking that that dogfight even transcended the learning that I am getting by reading about osmotic communication. And now this topic by Toastmaster Usama has taken it to another level. So if there were life on every planet, there would be so much material for all of us to learn, because as the environment of every planet is different, so would be their behaviors and their talents, their capacities. There would be so much more to learn from our fellow members on every planet. And this makes me think whether how would we define Toastmasters International at that point in time? Maybe an interplanetary meeting conducted by DTM Talha. I can still think of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saira. So our next table topic speaker is Toastmaster Faisal. Toastmaster Faisal, are you there with us?
Toastmaster Usama, I think we should end the session if Toastmaster Faisal is not here because we are behind time in the interest of time. I think he's not there. Oh, he's there. He's there. All right. All right. If he's willing, go ahead.
So Toastmaster Faisal, are you there? He is
I don't
there,
think
but
so. He's still muted.
Yeah, I think he's away or something. So yeah.
I think then we should wrap up the session because we are short of time. So thank you so much, everyone. It was worth listening to the ones who participated, and I hope every other one enjoyed the amazing, amazing speaking of everyone.
Yay! Woohoo!
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Usama, for that amazing, engaging, energetic session. So, fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests, the story continues. We have the idea, we have the president, we have the marketing. Now comes the members, the members who make the magic happen. And for that, Quantum Leap found the perfect XCOM. We had the president, DTM Saif. We had the VP Education, DTM Talha. We have the VP Membership, Toastmaster Forum. We have the VP PR, Toastmaster Mubina. We had the Secretary, Toastmaster Saad. And we had the Treasurer again DTM Talha. And we had the Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Imran Mahmood. So this journey moves on. So now is the time for the most important part, because we all love to know what we did well and what we can actually improve on. And for that, I would like to call the general evaluator of the meeting, Toastmaster Kathlyn. Toastmaster Kathlyn Pill, over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saad. For the timers report, Talha, would you give us a very quick report? And if you're not ready, perhaps we could hurry over to our language evaluator to tell us about the word transcend. Mubina Rauf.
Good evening, good morning, everybody. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Okay. The word of the day was transcend, used by DTM Deborah and DTM Saira, Toastmaster Saira, and Toastmaster Saad. Did you use it? Yes, yes. So please use it often in your daily interactions. It's a beautiful word, I think, and it suits so well to this platform, our platform, where according to DTM Saad, it's in space where there is no concept of time. We have transcended time. I have a long list of very good usages of English language. starting with DTM Ali Shahbaz, a meeting of two unique clubs and a platform to connect that missing link between the East and the West. And then the Geek of the Week, DTM Swarna. She talked about fintech. We can't stop ourselves from using it without even realizing where we are going. We have to accept the digital disruption. Do you click accept all cookies? I always do that. I don't know where I'm going to end. Keynote speech, DTM Deborah. Excellent. Ready to strive, ready to transcend. Life is about feeling good. Life ebbs and flows. Are boulders blocking your way? Flow over them. Your emotions detect your feelings and your feelings connect you to your intuition. Great. Energy is everything and everywhere. Make it flow. It was such a flowing presentation by DTM Deborah. Coming to prepared speeches, DTM Gary, make them choose you. He spoke his wife's language and it was so beautiful. Communication, differentiation, and why. Focus on the other person. And then they feel important. And then that feeling transfers back to me. This is a wonderful concept. And he also gave us some information about working from home, which is more productive. I wish I could also do that, but I have to go to work every day. Can anybody tell me what Zoom is? Yes, even I need an answer. DTM Sudarshan, the dog fight. I could really feel the two dogs fighting in front of me. Every snarl, every bite was purposeful and diligently thought out. And he had 5 lessons, which Blackie taught him. Believe in yourself, trust your strengths. If you choose to back off, you lose ground, and then understand your opponent's weaknesses. And then it's always the size of the fight, not the size of the dog. We all have an option, either to be Scamper or Blackie. Fight the good fight. And coming to the brief table topics, start fresh learning about humanity in Mars. I wish we could. We really need to start fresh in this delicious moment of the now. Wow, beautiful phrasing by DTM Kathlyn. Common values and communion. And Toastmaster meetings, it would be exceptional to have those. So this is my report on the usage of English language. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Saad.
Thank you very much, Mubina Rauf. That was a beautiful, we got to know you, and it was a beautiful moment together, very transcendent of the particulars.
Thank you.
And Talha, for the timing report, could you give us a very quick, we are, speaking of time.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Kathlyn. And yes, I realize we are behind time. It is entirely my responsibility. It's time for the timer today. And it's a complete mystery to me because all the speakers were within time. All the evaluators were within time. The keynote speaker was within time. In fact, she was short of time. Even the round robin evaluators, all of them were within time. The table topic speakers were within time. Just one point I want to highlight, since both our speakers are competing with these speeches in international speech contest. You both went over 7 minutes and 20 seconds, and that's not on. So consider 7 minutes and red light as your ending time. That's the only way to be safe. So that's one point that I'd like to make and hand over to Toastmaster Kathlyn. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Talha. And I to offer my evaluation of the of the meeting. I'm so very glad I was able to come and to meet you and to learn from all of you. This is really a particularly interesting and the word is to me blessed meeting where people's authenticity, their purpose, their intention is less on performance and more on really being available to commune, to hear, and to offer who we are from a deeper level. That takes a bit of time, I would say. Perhaps there's a little bit of a disjunction between the hourglass and the soul's time. And that is where we have a bit of trouble because it is a meeting, it is a Toastmasters meeting. Just for instance, I am supposed to be on another project by 10 o'clock. So what do you do about that? Oh, sometimes the table topics session is used as a buffer so that it is forsaken until the next meeting if the clock requires. But then we would not have had that beautiful, beautiful sharing moment where we got to know each other, especially for me coming to meet you the first time across the time zones and the different personalities. It does take breathing together. So I don't have an answer to the question, how do you bring those two very important points together? All I can say is we are only 10 minutes late, and that is actually miraculous considering how much we have gotten done. Back to you, Saad, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kathlyn. And wow, what a wonderful meeting in the actual outer space where yes, we had no concept of time because we went a bit over time. But the things we actually covered between that, from the keynote to the speakers, to the table topics, to each and every evaluator was absolutely wonderful. And I really enjoyed my time. And now that the story is about to end. And now that Quantum Leap has a president, has marketing, has the XCOM, and now it's time for the rocket to take off. Yes, we might not do it at the first attempt, or the attempt number 2, or the attempt number 3. But remember, the richest person in the world actually failed 3 times in launching the rockets, and now he is where he is. So with that, I would like to hand back charge to the president, and also launch the polls for each of the categories. So over to you, Mr. President. You're on mute, sir.
Toastmaster Cynthia, this is your call.
I'm sorry?
It's your call now to conclude, to ask the guest comment.
Oh, yes. Well, this was a transcendent meeting. Absolutely amazing. I just enjoyed my time here. I think it's the beginning of what we're going to do together at Leaders Worldwide and Quantum Leap. I think we have a lot in common, and I just am thankful to each and every one of you. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Madam President. So it's time to have a result. Toastmaster Talha, do we have the result?
Actually, they will take a few seconds, DTM Saif. So in the meantime, you can take comments and while the polls are compiled.
So it's a time for the chocolate. It's a virtual chocolate. While you're going back home, you can get the chocolate from your pocket and enjoy on behalf of our joint meeting. Will you?
Yes.
So let me ask a quick comments from Sally first. 30 seconds.
Sally?
Sally?
Yes.
Question. I loved the entire program, and I, of course, respond well to stories about dogs, and that one brought tears to my eyes. And I'm going to use that guidance in meeting new people in 1 hour, and remember who's the small one who's taking the lead. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, our DTM, Deborah. 30 seconds for you.
What I loved about the meeting, I loved the connection and the collaboration of getting together with another group of people, and I loved getting to know all of you. Because and I can't wait till we do it again.
Thank you very much, DTM. So let's move to Toastmaster Gary.
Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed the meeting today, and I feel it's a point of being able to make new friends around the world. And I think the concept of doing a joint meeting is excellent, and looking forward to many more in the future.
Thank you very much. Since Gary and Toastmaster Sudarshan, you are attempting in the contest, based on my experience, that prepare your speech for 6 minutes only.
Okay.
Don't go beyond 6 minutes.
All right.
If there are audience responses coming, it might end up by the 7th minute. And if you forget anything during your speech, so you will end up with the 5 minutes. So prepare your speech in the 6 minutes. So let's move to.
We're finished.
Thank you very much.
Let's move to another comment from Toastmaster Abdul Subhan. You are here. Toastmaster Abdul Subhan. Toastmaster Faisal Murad.
Hi.
Toastmaster Hong.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
For you.
I'm sorry, here's no electricity, so that's why. It's very dark here. My name is
It's okay.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, we are.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to talk. What can I do now? Just introducing myself, right? So
you have 30 seconds to say anything about the meeting.
Okay. Actually, I am a little bit late for joining the meeting, but I'm listening to all of you about your sharing and evaluation and everything here. It's amazing. Thank you so much. And hopefully next time I can join the meeting, the whole meeting as well, to learn more new things from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's have a last comment from Toastmaster Saira.
Thank you,
Or is
DTM.
it? Yes, Toastmaster Saira, please.
Yes, thank you, DTM Saif. Am I audible?
Oh, yes, you are very much.
Great. It was a wonderful meeting, and I think we should have more such meetings where we can interact with a diverse set of Toastmasters from around the globe. That is actually very useful for each one of us, that added to our experience. And as we always say, we are going to leave this meeting a little more wiser. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saira. Results are ready. Let's have a result, please.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. President. So first of all, we are all winners. We are all leaving this meeting a little bit smarter. But the specific results are: best speaker goes to DTM Sudarshan. Congratulations. Best lead evaluator goes to DTM Saif Ali Shaikh. Congratulations. Best table topics goes to Toastmaster Saira Parvez. Congratulations. Best big three goes to DTM Saad Shoaib. And best round robin evaluator goes to Toastmaster Kathlyn. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tala. These certificates you will receive virtually, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. And by this, I can't have a word to say that we are exceeded too much over time. And next time we will try our best to conclude our meeting at least 5 minutes earlier to our scheduled time. And have a good day ahead of you, good night ahead for you, and have a good sleep, for tomorrow is a Monday, it's a working day for us. Thank you very much.